And welcome to another episode of South Texas Crossfire. This is Attorney Joe Flores reminding you to join us each and every week right here on KTMV with the Lopez family. Special thanks to Don Humberto celebrating over 50 years of broadcasting, and my good friend Carlos Lopez, the Ted Turner of broadcasting. And with me right now, I have the distinct pleasure of bringing on political analyst and journalist and political commentator Homero Villarreal from El Defensor, and also of Facebook Claim to Fame. Welcome.
Hey,
how are you?
An honor to be here, Joe.
Well, I'm glad you're here because let me weed through the confusion. There's a lot of people that have just been flummoxed by everything that has happened. There have been surprise results, but some analysts are saying not so surprising. We've had a sweep, or literally, except for Joey Gonzalez, who I was proud to represent and consult on for commissioner, that was successful and victorious, and Mark Skirka, who had enough crossover vote. But was it, and we're trying to find meaning here, Homero, was it that the Republicans came out in vast masses, or was there Hispanic crossover from the Democratic Party? What was it that you're trying to put meaning to this? And I know you've been putting together something in the paper for.
Well, basically, it said vicarious gratification. You know, I heard people say, we won. And I go, what do you mean, we won? And then that's the interpretation that comes in. Absolutely. What do you mean by we, you know? Did the people win? Did your group win? Did your faction win? Did your party win? Be specific. First of all, you have to talk about the mathematics and the statistics of it. First of all, the climate, who do you give there were several variables involved, and each variable played a role. But basically here in South Texas, here where we find ourselves in this corner of the planet, has been basically a Democrat voter bloc. But you have to keep in mind that the certain variables were at play. Democrats can be very independent, you know. If you look at that 30 under age group, those people tend to variate. It depends who courts them, and systematically and methodically courts them, which way they were. There was a lot of money involved. But basically, you're talking about a population group that, you know, you hear all these pundits on radio saying, people want a new lifestyle, and conservative is a new lifestyle, and blah, blah, blah. And many of the politicos harping on that. But the truth is, did the people win? When people win for office, you're talking about electing somebody for office. Is that you? One, it's no. That's an entrusted position. Once people are there, people have to perform, and people need to give them a report card. And will the accountability be there? Surely. You know, 4 years from now, there was this national trend, yes, this Texas, you had the governor's race, heated race, that brought up the numbers a tad. Because keep in mind that, for instance, take anybody, Salomon Ortiz, for instance. Did he win? Or senior? Senior. Did he win by a large margin? Did they give his opponent, Farenthold, a mandate? No. He clearly did not win by a mandate. He won by a few hundred votes, which if you objectify and remove yourself from that large terrain or expanse of territory it covers, you'll see that you're talking about a very small percentage actually elected Farenthold. If you look at the mathematics of it.
Which was contested, and as we're filming this, is being contested.
But remember, Democrats have survived trends like this before in this area, because one is you have the larger Nueces County. And I think one of the problems that we saw in the Democratic Party is that we saw several factions moving away, crossing the track, so to speak, to a new political lifestyle, as many are calling it. And they're starting to realize, you know, I'm an attorney, I live through Ocean Drive. What commonalities do I really have with working class and poor people? People are re-examining at this point in their career.
And let me stop you there. Let me ask you one important question while you're on that vein. As I was with Joey Gonzalez and we're out in the countryside picking up his signs, the real deal, my back still aches, but we do it all, and we were out there. And so I was asking people, frankly, now maybe some of that was socioeconomic change. But I sat down with a group of ladies at Hi-Ho. One of them was the former Democratic chair. Yeah. And what she told me was that she felt disenfranchised by the Democratic Party and certain factions that were in control. She was very candid, and her friends around her, the consensus was, that's what happened. I felt every time I walked in there like I was the stepchild at the family reunion.
Well, that has been a reoccurring theme, that the Democratic Party needs to be reorganized, restructured. It's been left in chaos. Certain factions that were there exploited the party for years. We tend to see a new group that emerge, young South Texas voters. We're starting to see new blood, new recruitment.
Which they hacked to death on Caller Times. Exactly. They had a press conference and they tried to accuse that they were your puppet, my puppet, Real Simple's puppet, Carlos's puppet. I mean, they were trying to say because young people came out with a voice, they were trying to say that they were controlled by somebody. And that was nothing but haters. Haters.
Why would a group of young people that are trying to recruit new blood be targeted? And it's simple. The incumbents don't want new generations to have a voice. It becomes a clique, a clique, what's known in this.
Well, they certainly resented Mr. Oldman coming on the landscape.
With us or against us. And that's why there was a certain level of anti-incumbency. I think people under 30 have seen that things have not changed. There's certain people in office. And that anti-incumbency, and remember, the Hispanic community carries the burden of poverty, and is that going to go away?
El Partido del Pobre. Well, and so some people resent that and say, poverty sucks. I don't want to be poor. And then somebody else says, we're not the poor party. We are the party that is for the poor, the disenfranchised.
But it barely means the disenfranchised. Is the elite from Ocean Drive going to represent you? I mean, that's the question you need to ask. Are you really being represented? Are you disenfranchised?
I don't know anymore, Homero. I got to be honest.
Does he orbit your world? Does he advocate for your daily struggles? And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of it is vicarious gratification. If just because you elect somebody doesn't mean it's a secondary experience. Wow, we won. Did you really win?
Did you really win?
You have to realize the basic institution in your life.